guys, it's Rachel here, and we are doing a Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. It's not actually Wednesday, it's before Wednesday, and I thought I would just get going on this a little bit because then the week after, the Wednesday after, I will be away. Yay! And so I won't get a video done that day. So I need to pre-record it, so I need to get ahead. So all I've done here is taken this and bunched it on and then just put little stitches in here and there to stitch it down, and I think I'm going to leave it a little bit loopy and loose like that. I just wanted to make a start on this, even though it's not relevant to our prompt. Actually, I've got some threaded here. Oh yeah, that's a good needle. That's just a Milner's needle. I think it's one of the bigger sizes. Maybe 18. Does that exist? Someone asked me, what size are your needles? I'm like, oh, I don't know. They're just all there in the thing. I just use whatever I feel like using. So this is Solvy. I showed you that last time, and I'm just going to do little stitches here, little back stitches. And you need to keep them quite small, especially when you're going around the curve. And this is very small writing. So, yeah, I need to do little stitches for it to work. And I thought I'd just use this perlé cotton. I got this from Beck. It's variegated. Yeah, got that from Beck, and it's a lovely, lovely, lovely thread to use. Beck from So Be Curated on YouTube, and yeah, So Be Curated. So Be. I'm sure we talk about her a lot, Sass and I, because we love her. And Mum just did 2 days of course with her, which she loved, and I think they really whooped it up. And Kate's done the 2 days there too with Mum, and she's already done 2 videos sharing. So lucky ladies. I'm over here on my little Italian island of me, myself, and I, and you guys are my company. But I certainly don't have in-person company. There's nobody, and nobody understands me. Not only the language, but I think there are a few Italians who watch. Hello, ciao. But I don't think that we're near. So, which is a shame. Really do like now with this is like literally would be impossible to do. Well, I could do it, but it would look funny. So what I do is I'll come up at one point and down at the other point down there, and I kind of do like an open daisy stitch, if that makes sense. So create the little curve. I mean, you'll hardly be able to read it because it's so small. I should have written it bigger. I kind of started tracing Edith Holden's thing, and then I did my own writing there, which is a bit bigger, and it would have been easier to read. So you can hardly see that's an A. But here, I'm just going to do the same type of thing at each point, and then where it curves, I'll come up here and then hook it to create my F. So it makes it go also a little bit faster, so it doesn't take you quite so long to, you know, do the stitching of the words. Now I'm thinking this is going to tear out quite easily because my stitches are quite close together, so I'm perforating it. You know, the holes are near each other. My thoughts are going towards my daughter and her friend. They've they did the first entrance exam last week, and they were both, especially Lulu, was incredibly shocked at the result that she got. Didn't do so well, and part of it is they're incredibly hard exams. They have to study these books, and it's a lot of stuff that they've never done before. It's more university level. And they do it on purpose because they don't want too many kids to get in. So it's very, very hard. And and Lulu's a bright girl, but you know, because they just did their final school year exams, they really haven't had enough time, in my opinion, to study these books, these huge books that they have to study to be able to know the stuff for these exams. And when you make a mistake, they take marks off, and it works out. They say it's 0.25, but it actually worked out to be a lot more than that, because you also, it's actually 1.25 off. So not only do you not get the mark, they take it off what you already did correct. So Lulu was very devastated yesterday, and I was shocked, and because she usually does very well, and so very demoralized yesterday. And she had exams this morning for a different university, and she has it tomorrow. So I don't know how I managed, because I was upset as well, but I made her get a grip, and her dad came home, thankfully, and they just worked through, like they can show them a random building around the world by whatever architect and say, who did this and what was it for, you know, that sort of thing. So he went through all of that with her and kind of calmed her down, and I told her that, you know, if she doesn't get in, she's going to have a gap year, and I need help. So I said, I can officially employ you, and maybe we can find you something, you know, like there's lovely courses and creative things to do in Florence and stuff like that. Maybe you go away for a few months and do that. Yeah, she's really had her heart set on going, and she's like, and all my friends. I'm like, do you know what? When I was at university, my best friend didn't go to university straight away. She worked, and my other one left and went to America and worked, because her dad was a doctor and had an American passport, because he was there when he, you know, doing those, what do you call it? I can't remember, those years that you have to do when you're a doctor, the practice years. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, and I said all my friends were overseas, and I was friendless for more than a year. So, you know, life throws you lemons. You got to make some lemonade, and you've got to adjust your mindset and deal with what's thrown at you. And you haven't had the time to prepare for this test. It was a bit of a shock to us how hard it was. I said, had I known, I would have been on you even, you know, but she did what she could. So anyway, I said to her, I did feel like that when she did that first test, she actually finished it 40 minutes early, and I said to her, you can't be doing that. You need to use all the time. You need to go back and check. You need to take your time and answer everything, and not be, and she said, yes, I feel like I was rushing and a bit, you know, in inverted commas, superficial with it. So I said to her, slow it down to, you know, well, this was yesterday for today, and use all the time that you have, and don't answer anything that you're not sure about. Just don't answer it, because had she not answered a lot of those things that she was only sort of like 80% sure about, she might have gotten in. So it's incredible, the difference. And so anyway, she pulled herself together, and then she's done it today. And this one was a little bit different, the setup. It actually, you can hardly even read this. I don't even know why I'm bothering. But anyway, it did tell her what her simulation of what her result was. And because I said to her, if you can get 3 marks more today, that's already going to be, it's going to be a big difference. And I'll explain to you why in a second. And because they're not exams where you get high marks. They're very, very hard. So anyway, she did it. She got 3 more marks today, which was great. She's getting closer to what she was aiming for. And so I said, oh, let's cross our fingers and toes for tomorrow, which is the one for Milan, that you can do even better. And that might get you in. It might. But we're not getting overexcited. I've convinced her that it's okay to take a year off and work and just do some things, that she's young and she doesn't need to be in a hurry. and her, you know, her cousin Sarah's son, he took a year off. He's working, and our step nephew, he's taking a year off and working. You know, lots of kids do it. So she's in a bit better spirits, and I said to her, we will do everything we can. We'll get you courses and stuff to get you in next year. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. It is sad because she's got an apartment lined up with her friend and everything, and it's in a great spot. She'll miss that opportunity, but you know, it is what it is. That's what her dad said. He just said, look, it is what it is. He's not, I don't see him overly concerned. How am I going to do these M's? It's tiny. So we've had like high stress. We're in high stress at the moment. So but we'll get through it. And today also, because they said what things were wrong, she could see where she needed to do some more work. So that's what she's focusing on today. She's got all day, you know, all afternoon to things. She couldn't remember some of she knew the formulas, but she had a blank and couldn't remember them, and so she couldn't do the physics part. And so she's focusing on that today. Oh, and then she had a drama because they've got to have their phone set up with some sort of app that the supervisors can see the room and everything, and they can see the back of her, and her phone started to go dead, and she asked permission to call me, and I had to bring her an extension cord, and so she couldn't even answer that whole section because she ran out of time because of the thing. So I said, have everything there plugged in for tomorrow. Give yourself a bit more of a chance. So fingers crossed. She may come out in floods of tears. We just don't know. I can't read that. What does that even say? Something, 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 something. Oh, well, doesn't matter. I've lost a letter there. I'll just keep on. Oh, before. No, before. I think it's meant to be before. But anyway, I'm going to leave out that little letter there because it's just decorative. I can't read it. Next time I'm going to write bigger. Note to self. I'll finish off this thread, and then we'll move on to the nest. And I had a few ideas for my bird too. Now there's a wonderful lady on Instagram. Actually, she hasn't been sharing very much. I know that Mum and Sarah follow her. I can't remember her name. It begins with P. I'll see if I can find her. Oh God, I shouldn't say that because I'm not posting this video yet, so I probably won't remember. But I'll see if I can find her and link her Instagram. This is a hot mess. I'll put the little stick on there. And then an R and an E. Yep, so fingers and toes crossed. So yesterday her friend got 1 mark more. Yesterday wasn't the exam, it was last week, but we got the results. She got 1 mark more than Lulu. And so basically they have a, you know, sort of like, they put you in order of what you got and what sections you did best in. And because that's, if someone got the same mark as you, then there are sections that whoever did better in such sections are ahead of the other one who got the same mark. So anyway, the 1 mark more that her friend Georgia got put her 35 spots ahead of Lulu. Isn't that incredible? So there were a lot of kids that got the same marks. And they have, like, they call it a graduatoria here. So it's basically, there were 150 spots in the university. And then they tell you what number you were from in the list of the kids. And so then, of course, a lot of these kids are like Lulu, they're trying out for lots of universities, and they may decide not to take up their position that they got at that university. And so then they just say we're not going, I'm not going, and then you know, number 151 gets offered the spot. But our girls were not near it. They were I think they're a bit far out to that. She didn't want to go to that university anyway, but you know, the thing was to get in somewhere so that you didn't have to you weren't forced to take a gap year. I mean, it's not the end of the world. A lot of kids do that by choice. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. But we've sort of calmed our farms a bit after the initial shock of it all. Oh, how do I have a knot there? Can I even get that out? Because if I can't, I'll just have to cut it. Must have already been in there. I think that's probably a thread that I got from the sewing basket. A lot of my threads, I get a lot of my threads from there. When I come out, I just stock up because I don't buy anything here. I buy hardly any, except for, you know, fabrics here and there. I hardly buy any sewing supplies here at all. Unless, of course, I run out of a colour that I particularly want. I can see it, but I just can't. Here we go. I'm not going to put you through me. I'll give up in a minute and just cut it. Yep. Okay, I'm giving up now. We'll put our knot there and we're going to have a shorter thread. And that will be used afterwards. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to do, and it'll probably take a while, but I'll get it started. I may finish it while I'm away, this bit. I'm just going to start, and I've never done this before, but we will see how it turns out. I'm just going to start putting all different direction stitches, and I'm going to have all different shades of browns. Now I may not even like it, and then I'll be pulling it all out, but thank goodness they're big stitches. And the challenge for me will be to remind myself to change direction. So I guess they're kind of like big seed stitches. Yeah, big seed stitches. And I'm even going to go into the swirly bits there. And it will take a while to build it up too, which is why I'm realistic. I'm not going to get it done all in the video, but we'll just give you an idea of my approach, which you may want to ignore if it doesn't work. Okay, that's just the start of it. But we'll just work on that little area, so I'll get another colour. Let's grab another colour. Yeah, it's starting to get there. I'm going to grab a more reddy sort of brown. Oh wait, or maybe I'll start. Oh, that's a dark brown is good too. Let's do a little bit of dark brown. This one's a bit thinner. I think that one must be an 8. This must be an 8. I think that one's a 5. They get thicker as the number goes down. So it's going to be layers upon layers upon layers. And the cheesecloth really just gives me a nice base. So this video really is about showing you the different things, and then they'll be finished off camera. The different ideas. If I can thread my needle. This is thinner and I can't even thread it. Okay, so I'm going to come back and work in here, I think. So of course the cheesecloth with the stitching going over the top will flatten a bit. I probably could put my needle in there and tug it a little bit so it sort of sticks out. If I want to, I'll decide that afterwards. I might like just the texture under there and it flattening, I don't know. As I said, I've never done this before. So we don't know. I think my mum has. Mum will do some incredible nesty thing. It's at times like this that I would like to see how she does it. Yep, I think it's definitely all about the layers. I'll come back in with that other colour again. I might have 3 colours going. Might even add in a 4th colour. Just imagining, you know how they would be going like that and then shooting out around the edges. So this is what I meant, like, you know, in my last video saying that you don't have to have the image of the nest to do this. Like I'm covering it, so I'm just using it as a guideline. Yeah, I don't have to cover it. It's perfectly lovely, but I am covering it because that's the thing. We're doing the whole slow stitching thing. Well, this is more embroidery than slow stitching. I need to do my slow stitching on here. That's all my running stitch and everything. I haven't done that yet. I don't want to go too far in there, just little bits here and there is my thought. Anyway. Okay. So I've run out, but you can get the idea, the gist of how I'm going to approach it. And now I just wanted to do a little experimentation with the bird. So I was thinking of that lady on Instagram, and I can't remember her name. She does these birds and she appliques bits and pieces of fabric in on the birds. So I'm thinking I might do something a bit like that. What can I find here? Well, already I found this fabric could go there and do little stitches on them. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. I have this. It's not quite dark enough. No, I don't know whether I'll have a dark fabric to go in there. I could just embroider that. Just looking around in my mess to see what I have here. I have those from the other day, but they're not. Imagine that. That's not the right colour. Oh, but it's not brown. It's blue. No, well, that's sort of more blacky, isn't it? I don't want to add brown, I don't think. I could do brown. Let's just cut a piece. I don't know what this was meant to be. Oh, I think it might be cut on the bias. Let me just randomly cut a piece and see. So this is how I would measure. I would just eyeball it and keep trimming it down until I get to the right. I don't think I'll do the eye bit just because I would make it ugly if I change the eye. Little strip there. Let's just see if I like it. We can have a little strip here. Maybe not that one. What else do I have flying around? I have these lovely strips here. So that bit could be very nice there. Yep, I think I like that. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm not going to do the green. I'm going to do stitching on there. I'm just going to pick up little bits and pieces. Actually, I had this darker piece here. I'm going to put a little strip there. So you only need little scraps of fabric for this part, and I would put that there, just snip that off and have that over the top. And I think those bits I might embroider, the colourful bits, and I'll put some stitching over this, over these bits to you know, show the feathers kind of. So that will go there. Cut a bit more off. Yeah, I think that would be a bit fiddly. And here I have stitches coming down. So of course you can draw your bird, trace it, put it on with Solvay and do this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the birdie. So I'm going to stitch those down, do some stitches coming down like that in them, and I'm going to pick up some of the colour in here, in these, the greeny blue sort of colours, and I might just do the little tip of the little highlight in the eye. So yeah, and that I'm going to do that colour, and then I was going to add in maybe a colour like this. I had pulled out the other one, but I think I prefer that colour, so that one, so this one, that one, and that one. And if I feel like it needs it, I could come in with a few highlights here and there with something like that, which is a similar colour to the cheesecloth. Yeah, and I'll embroider that. I think I'll use the same colour as what I'm doing over there. And then I'm going to start doing some canthus stitching around these things, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of embroidery on the leaves. And you've seen me do that sort of thing before, so I don't feel like that needs to necessarily go on video. So that is my video for this week, and when you see me next week, hopefully this will have progressed. I'm going to take it away with me, and we'll be on, oh my gosh, we'll be on to the next prompt. It's going really quickly, really super fast. So have a great week. I look forward to seeing your wonderful nests. I know there's lots of them already up, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.